This is a standard configuration for the X booth. All 4 shelves are set at standing height. Now I'm going to show you configuration number 2. We have an accessory handicap shelf that easily attaches to the product. And now what you have is 3 shelves at standing height and 1 shelf at handicapped height. That's configuration number 2. Now configuration number 3 is that even with the shelf attached, you can still bring the shelf above it down. Now what you have is 4 shelves at standing height. However, if a person needs to sit or a person in a handicap or a wheelchair comes in to vote, all you do is pop up the shelf and now you have handicapped accessibility. So that's the third configuration, is that you can set it up with all 4 shelves at regular height, and only if you need to can you make the handicapped accessible shelf easily available. All right, now you've seen 3 configurations. All 4 shelves at standing height, 3 shelves at standing height, 1 at seated or ADA accessible height, and the third way was all 4 shelves at standing height, yet the handicapped accessible shelf still in place, ready to be used when necessary. What I've done is I brought the product back to its original setup, but I've shortened the legs a little bit. Now what we're going to do is show you the 4th configuration option. Which allows you to set all 4 shelves at seated height. Now what you have is a voting booth where all 4 shelves are available to either handicapped accessibility requirements or people who may sit. We've been getting a lot of feedback from many jurisdictions that the elderly vote. Sometimes people want to sit, especially filling out a paper ballot. Sometimes it takes a good deal of time. So if you want to provide this kind of a convenience, then only the Alphabooth is able to be set up so that all 4 shelves can be at seated height. This can also be a useful configuration if you happen to have multiple election districts in the same poll site. Therefore, rather than set up a handicapped accessible booth on an election on a per district basis, you can set one of these up, and this can be sort of the magnet booth for all accessibility needs and all people who need to be seated. So there you have the Alphabooth X able to be set up in 4 separate configurations that should be able to meet almost any requirement.